Hello there trainers, greetings, my name is KuroBlitz and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you something new but also something old at the exact same time. I want to bring the 2021 tag challenge of the Pokemon Wants to Journeys, an anime tag challenge created by yours truly, Crasher Plays and Reacts. I did the tag 2 years ago, but now with a brand new generation, a brand new region, Paldea, that's inspired by both Portugal and Spain, I actually want to use my home country as a basis to basically tell a story of what would be, my OC, my original character, right? And I feel like it would be very great to actually reincorporate the idea of a sequel to the Wants to Journeys video. I had a semi-sequel with the My Victory Road Tag challenge from last year, but that's a topic for another day. I really want to bring the idea of, doing a sequel series and actually utilizing the Paldea region as a basis, as a foundation, and basically just that. In terms of the rules, I'm not going to follow them because only 9 Pokemon, even if it's only per region, I feel like it's very little for what I try to do. So basically, in terms of my own idea for the story, is that I want for this story of mine to basically start when Ash started Kanto, and there are going to be, some moments that are going to basically parallel his journey. But yeah, without further ado, I really want to start with the prologue of this video. So my character comes from Porto Marinada, the city of auctions, and my own character basically, works in the local lighthouse of the West Province for, the Paldea region. There is a big commotion in the Central Plaza because 2 trainers are duking it out in an exhibition match. That being the champion rank trainer Nemona from the Naranja Academy and the prodigious student from the Blueberry Academy offshore, that being Juliana. They are duking it out, I'm seeing the battle, I'm having fun, and also basically coming up with my own ideas and analysis for how to basically have fun battle. In Paldea, it's very known as a coming of age story and basically a rite of passage for people to, do the gym challenge and try to obtain the champion rank just like Nemona did. Some do, some don't. Some people have Terra Orbs from the academy, some don't. I will have my own because, basically Nemona and Juliana, they give it to me after helping them out with the current situation when it comes to, the lighthouse and whatever more. And after going back to my home, I basically, do the lineup for what it will be my, journey across, the gym challenge. Nemona would still be an inspiration, however, I'm going to have Porto Marinada as my hub, as my center, because I want for this gym challenge to basically, be me going to, excursions and expeditions, and basically, going around the region, but always coming back home in case of need be, because I still have a job to do. I will go to have 2 gyms in the southern province, 2 in the west, 2 in the east, and then 2 in the north. Basically doing the Ursa Major constellation and then saving the final gym as the Polaris star. But yeah, traders, this is going to be my humble beginnings, my wants to journey. So, without further ado, let's get this story started. And as the story starts, I'm going to have to face the 2 gym leaders in my first expedition to South Paldea, and those are going to be Tulip from Alfornada and Katie from Cortondo. And as time passes, I come back home, but then there's a situation in Lake Casseroya. And this situation is basically, the Titan Don Donzo, which in this scenario, it's going to parallel the attack of the giant Tentacruel from the Kanto anime. And this is where I meet Harvan, where he needs, the Herba Mystica to help Mabostiff and whatever. And I'm going to help the guy, so I really wanted to, to spread the gyms and also the Titans when it comes to the story. My original idea for the story, I will going to tell you right now, was to make 6 gyms like Ash, and between 6 and 7, Koga and Blaine, I would have the Titans in the middle, but I decided to make it all more sporadically in order to make some more sense. And with that, I actually helped, Arva to defeat the Titan Don Donzo. Yes, I know that the Titan is actually Tatsugiri, but in this version it will not be Tatsugiri, it will actually be a Don Donzo. And after that, I go to the West Province where I'm from, and I do battle Kofu because Kofu goes to the Porto Marinada auction, so I actually do battle the guy. And after that, I'm actually invited to, to basically battle with Larry. And we are going to basically have a battle. And as the story continues, near the gate for Area Zero in the Great Crater of Paldea, there is this giant Bombardier. Bombardier is another Titan, the Titan of the Open Skies, and they're basically, not in their home, where I basically nearly live, in the Asado Desert. They are, in the crater, and they're pulling rocks down the crater, and they are hitting the second squad base from Team Star. So Giacomo has to help me out, and I have to help him out, so basically to stop this Bombardier. I end up catching Bombardier, and Giacomo is grateful to me, and he basically tells the story of how he was the former president of the school before Nemona. He tells me about Team Star, he tells me about the bases, and everything more. This is going to be, a situation similar to the giant Dragonite in the original anime and Bill. Giacomo is basically going to be my Bill for this version. And he tells me about all of these legendary Pokemon that he heard about, being in this region, being the Runas Quartet, the dark legendary Pokemon, and he's basically doing research on them. He's basically analyzed all of the locations of the stakes, so he dismantled his group from the Team Star and is going on the hunt for them. Continuing on to the story, now that I have a Titan Bombardier, basically it's like the Aerodactyl that Ash's Charmeleon kind of fought as well, in a way. Bombardier is going to soar me to East Paldea, basically fly all over the crater, and that is where I'm going to, battle Brassius and Iono. This is going to be, two super cool battles, and this is the time that my Pokemon are actually going to, start to evolve. After that, we will meet with Arven, and both Cloth and Earthworm are battling for territory when it comes to Herba Mystica. So basically me and Arven have to, stop these two titans from, fighting one another. And when it comes to the original anime, this parallels the tattooed giant, Alakazam and Gengar. Now, after that, I fly to the Northern Province, and that is where I battle with, Rhyme and Grusha. Around the same time that Ash is basically facing both Blaine in Cinnabar Island, and Gary is battling, Giovanni in Viridian City. Continuing on with the story, I actually do meet Nemona and Juliana a lot of times across my journey, just like how Ash met Gary, but we never really battle, we just basically help each other in this little community. I'm a novice trainer, they're both champion ranks, there is no way that I would win a battle, so there's no way that I even get, the idea to challenge them to one. However, the opportunity comes across when Director Clavel from the Naranja Academy decides to make an Ace Academy tournament, and basically like the ones in Best Wishes anime, so basically Clavel will be like the Don George in this situation, but there's a lot of students from Team Star who basically exit their bases and they use the Star Mobiles to, run amok all over the region, and they use the grunts to basically, invade the tournament of the Ace Academy. And this is basically going to be like the headhunters from Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And the Team Star are going to, be like the Joey matches kind of way, and there are 4 of them because Giacomo is not a member of Team Star anymore. So basically these 4 battles are basically going to be, my league preliminaries in the way. So I do defeat Team Star, they don't appear in the tournament anymore, the Star Mobiles are destroyed, but Clavel really needs for Penny's help to basically stop this Revenge of the Nerds plot, and it does. Even Giacomo basically uses his stacking device to track down Penny, and everything is, solved for the time being. There's a lot of commotion. I feel like, having an episode N kind of treatment for, Team Star in the situation, like how Plasma was held, after the gyms and whatever. I feel like it will be like the safest way for, me to do this type of story. And rephrasing it, this happens while Ash is training, quote unquote, in Seafoam Islands. Venus Beach, but you know how translations can be. And to finalize the adventure, I do meet both Paradox Donphans in the Asado Desert as they are, going towards my hometown of Port Marinada, with the giant one being, Great Tusk. That's the Titan one, because Naranja Academy I have to go with the Scarlet Pokemon. But that's where I meet the other two Elite Four members, being Rika and Poppy, the Steel and the Earth, the Ground experts, not respectively, because I just swapped them around. But that's besides the point. They are there and they help me out, and I kind of want for this to be the moment where Ash and Bruno are basically getting the Sandslash out of that giant Onyx. So yeah, this is before the league, and when Ash goes to Indigo, I go on my way to the Victory Road, and I just want to point this out. In this version of Paldea, there is no league conference. I have to go to the building, do the champion assessment with Rika, I have to pass, and then the battle starts. And that's where Rika is now waiting for me. But yeah, this is basically my journey until the league. However, my journey cannot start without my own Pokemon, right? So I feel like it's time for you guys to properly meet the roster. When it comes to Pokemon, I have my starter, Charcadet. Charcadet basically helps me out in the Lighthouse. This Charcadet will not have any type of armor in order to evolve. This Charcadet wants to stay as such, and I will respect their wishes. They have the moves of Flamethrower, Clear Smog, Nightshade, and Terra Blast. So this is going to be the moveset for my Charcadet, and we meet a lot of Pokemon along the way to basically join our party, including a Nimble, a Wooper, an Arctabax, a Kilowattrel, and a Tauros. So I basically get a full team. But, just like Ash and Kanto, I'm going to get more than 6 Pokemon. And I'm going to say those right now. They're going to be Screamtail, the Titan Bombardier that I referenced before, and the starters that you guys saw in the thumbnail being Quaxly, Crocalor, and Meowscarada. Screamtail is here to be a nod to Jigglypuff, but it also has a type of Mr. Mime. Quaxly has a similar arc to Squirtle. Crocalor has a similar arc to, Bulbasaur, but he doesn't refuse to evolve because he really wants to take care of the egg that, gets on his head. Meowscarada, it's kind of like Charizard. However, Meowscarada, it's not disobedient. It's more, prideful when it comes to, her battle expertise. Because this Meowscarada can change types with a hidden ability Protein. She has the special attacks of, Flower Trick and Aura Sphere, and the physical attacks of Night Slash and Play Rough, so she can become Grass, Dark, Fairy, or Fighting type. And that is going to be extremely pivotal when it comes to the battle with Rika. Going off to face Rika, I have to pass the assessment first, because when it comes to other regions, they want to prove that people need to, battle more to face the Elite Four. Paldea doesn't work like that. If you are going to be a champion of Paldea, you need to be good with people, good with Pokemon, good with the region. You have to know and remember, it's PR in the end of the day. And after I pass the assessment with flying colors, Rika is going to challenge me on a 6v6. However, this is going to be the reverse situation of the Roxy fight that Ash had in Best Witches. This is going to be, a 6v6, but Rika will only use 3 of her Pokemon. It's not a sweep, like how Leon did with Ianta, but it's more of a situation like how Brandon battled with Paul. The 3 Pokemon that, Rika is going to use are Clodsire, Camerupt, and Donphan. I do have a team ready for the fight in terms of, balancing everything out, but, one of her Pokemon defeats 3, the second defeats 2, and in the end, it's my Meowscarada, battling Donphan. Yes, Meowscarada can basically, defeat ground types, but the other 2 were part poison and part fire, it didn't do much, and this Donphan knows Ice Shard. So Meowscarada does end up tying, with Rika winning because she still has 3 Pokemon remaining. This is a breaking point for me, because I did the rite of passage by challenging gyms, but I still don't know what to do next. Which Rika replies that, every trainer has their own way of being strong. You just need to find yours. I sense that you have a great sense of responsibility because you work in a lighthouse, but you love Pokemon and you want to travel and you want, just like me, to be one with nature. Rika became an Elite Four member and a ground expert because she wants to understand the world, and she basically bestows the same idea to me when it comes to, terrestrialization and other phenomena that might still be around to discover in the Pokemon world, and I do get that. I even tell her that, when I was younger, I wanted to bring Pokemon contests to the Paldea region because I believe terrestrialization could be a great way for people to be entertained and actually laugh and be happy and have a fun time. However, as I go back home and I do ponder about this contest coordinator idea, I really don't have much time to think about it because my home is being, invaded at nighttime while I'm in the lighthouse by a Pokemon hunter with an Hydreigon. This one being the one that we saw in the penultimate episode of the Ash era. And they are basically, attacking a Misdreavus. And I'm just wondering, why is that to begin with? It's just a random Misdreavus, why go all extra about it? But that's until, Misdreavus it's attacked by, a dark move Hydreigon. And that is when I realize that this Misdreavus, it's not really a Misdreavus, but he has a Zoroark. But it's not a Zoroark from Unova. The hunter speaks about the idea that this is ancient Zoroark from the Sinnoh region, called a Hisuian form. And I remember from my school days about the whole name of the Sinnoh region. And I do know that there's like some Hisuian artifacts in the province to the northeast of Paldea, between the region and Kalos, that being Kitakami. I do defeat the hunter with all of my team, but they still run amok. And I want to basically protect this Hisuian Zoroark, so I keep it. I don't catch them, by the way. They're going to be around in my shadows, or use the illusion ability to disguise as this Misdreavus. I wanted to utilize my two favorite Pokemon into one. And making this, my 12th member, kinda like, the Lapras, Larvitar, whatever you want to feel like it, I needed something to basically go to Kitakami. Because Kitakami, it's going to be my Orange Islands arc. Kitakami, it's going to be the place where, the Ranger base is, because Pokemon Rangers, they are a Japanese stuff. I want to go to the Mazana Academy, the sister school to Naranja. I want to go to Kitakami and basically study there and basically be a Pokemon Ranger. Because I want to protect Pokemon and I want to protect people and I want to help out nature the best way I can. And therefore, in Kitakami, I actually do go under training, but that specific hunter comes back again because he actually, meet Giacomo, who was, studying the stakes, and he releases the legendary quartet because he wants powerful dark Pokemon as well. What he didn't know about that Zoroark is that Zoroark is not a dark type, it's a normal ghost. Now, the Ruinous Quartet are basically going to be like the shell gym badges that Ash got in the, Orange League. And after me quelling all of them and the hunter basically, goes away, I get the opportunity to actually have an exhibition match with Geeta because she thanks me for all of the work that I did for the region. Even Rika re-meets me and she points out that I might not be as powerful as them, but in heart and soul, I am a champion ranked trainer of Paldea. Even Nimona and Juliana acknowledge this. Arven acknowledges this. Clavel and Penny and even Team Star acknowledge this. So I do my best and I have an exhibition match with Geeta, and you can infer whatever happens there. I didn't wrote that. I just wanted to have, a Drake moment for this Orange Islands version of myself. Now when it comes to the Ranger School, before I graduate and I basically go to other regions doing missions in order to rank up, I need to, learn about, the elements, and the best way to, learn about the elements and basically, get the Pokemon and, get how the Ranger system works, I'm going to be taught by 3 teachers of the Mesagoza Academy, those being Miss Time, Mr. Hassel, and Miss Dendra. They are experts of rock, dragon, and fighting. We are going to do terror raids together, and that's how I'm basically going to, get all the details when it comes to being a Pokemon Ranger. Now, Miss Time is going to basically fill the Ivy role. Hassel is going to fill the Lorelei role. And Dendra, being a sparring partner, she's going to fill the Tracy role for this arc of mine. And now you have to wonder, if this happens during Kanto and Orange, what will your Johto be? Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that my Paldea journey is over, I actually want to say that I want for this Wants to journey to not just be this one-off video, but maybe a series in the future. I have the lineup all planned, so that you can already have an idea. For Johto, I have 160 episodes to work with. For this one, I used 80 episodes for Paldea and 40 for Kitakami, being the 120 of, the first generation of Pokemon. Now I have 160. What did I do? I had season 3 and 4 for Galar, with the World Cup happening in the League of Winden Stadium, and I had Master Quest be for Alola. Alola has a 15 episode arc for every island, the first 3 happening around the time that Ash is in Olivine City, Mahogany Town, and Blackthorn City, and while I'm at Mount Lanakila in Ula Ula, because there's no league yet, Ash will be, in Mount Silver for the Johto conference. But yes, I plan to do this more into the future, but for now, it's just this one little tease. I really hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, make sure to leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for the support. Without further ado, thank you trainers, KuroBlitz out, and continue on expanding your new horizons.